2022 Volvo XC60 T8. That's the plug-in hybrid extended version. It's finally here. I'm back here at McGrath Volvo Cars of Fort Myers, Florida, and today I'm going to give you an updated tour of this 2022 model. So we're going to check it out from the exterior, interior, play with some cool and new technology on the interior of this vehicle, as well as we're going to check out this brand new power plant and take it for a spin at the end of this video. Before we do all that, do me a quick favor, go to the right hand corner of your video. Right at the bottom there, there's a subscribe button. Hit that before we get back to this video. Well, for those of you that think that Volvo can't be sporty, just take a look at this particular vehicle. I love this fusion red color. I love all the blackout features of it. Now, that's because this is the R design model. The previous one that I've done was actually the inscription. So everything is still the same. The sheet metal is still the same, except, you know, features like this. This is that piano black grille. You have this huge Volvo logo. And remember that? What does that arrow point to? Yes, the latch on the hood. Very nice. So now it does have this front view camera as well. Love that fusion red color. And then at the bottom here, you have a lot of open spaces that kind of creates this more aggressive, sporty front bumper. Now, you also have the same lights as you had before. So those are the Thor hammer lights. Very nice, very bright, very visible, and very unique to the brand. And also you have some open spaces right here for more cooling off the brakes, etc. Love the hood. Okay, I already told you that on the previous one. Nothing has changed. It's long, but what's very important is what hides underneath here, because that has been updated for this extended range model. So let's pop the hood. Let's see what it is. All right, check it out, guys. Volvo said they're going to electrify their entire fleet by 2030. They're definitely going in the right direction. Now, they already had a plug-in hybrid before, but this T8 power plant is new for this year. So this is a 2.0 liter engine combined with the electric motor. It's a plug-in hybrid. Total output of the engine, 455 horsepower, which is 55 horsepower more than it has been before. It also has 523 pound-feet of torque. It has made it to an 8-speed Geartronic transmission. Also, there's a couple things that happen. Increased horsepower, which means it's faster, right? Yes, it is. It's 4.50 to 60, which is incredible for an SUV like this, the fastest in its class. Also, it increased gas mileage, almost 28, but it's 63 on electric mode only. So it not only it burns cleaner, but it drives faster. I'm really excited to take it for a spin at the end of this video. One thing to notice, though, I don't see any sound or heat insulation in here, which is what I thought I saw in the previous gen one. But you do so have the hood struts on both sides. It lifts the hood nice and tall for the mechanics to work on. Nothing has changed on the side of this vehicle. I just want to point out that this one has the updated rims. Now, they're 21-inch rims. I like that two-tone or two-color rims. They're actually polished aluminum on top, and right here on the inside, they're the shiny black that nicely complements the rest of this vehicle. 255/40, those are the sizes of the tires, and they're Pirelli Scorpions all-season tires. Now, here's where you have this charging port right here, and there's a good and bad news about it. Obviously, the good news is that you can charge it, and you can charge it using the provided cable, plugging it to your home outlet. The bad news, you can't fast charge this vehicle. So there's only two options that you can do. You can install a wall box in your garage, and then it's going to take 3 to 4 hours to fully charge this vehicle. Now, if you don't have that, if you just want to plug it into your regular household receptacle, it's going to take 6 to 8 hours to fully charge it. So that does take quite a while, and some people were complaining that, yeah, you can't fast charge it. I like the way that overall this vehicle is designed. Love the color of it. I like how they eliminate all of the chrome and make it a little bit sportier with this piano black right here. Of course, you have this piano black mirrors, and the mirror does have the turn signal right here. It does have the blind spot assist. Looks very good too. Of course, it does have the keyless entry system. There you go. We locked it without pressing any buttons on the key. Unlocked it, and this is it. Let's move on to the back. Well, so the back of this vehicle brings no changes either for this model year. We already done the 2022. So I love the lights of it. I can't tell you enough good things about it. They look nice. They are very nice and bright and visible. And that's the most important thing about the lights on the vehicle. They incorporate everything into one. So you have the turn signal, the regular lights. You have the backup lights in here as well. XC60, Volvo spelled out right here. You do have a T8 all-wheel drive recharge on the other side. By the way, all of the recharge vehicles are all-wheel drive. And then looking at this bottom portion of this bumper. Now, how to make it sporty without having to show you the exhaust. Now, Volvo figured out that, hey, exhausts are dirty. This is the old world type of thing, the old generation. So they hide the exhaust. They don't show it. But they still have this super cool design in the bottom. And I love how they combine this red with this piano black. There's no diffuser in here, but there's this indentation and at the bottom of here, which looks really, really nice. Of course, it does have the parking brake sensors and the reflector light in here. Well, let's see how much room we have in the back. Let's take a look at it. It's a little messy in here, but I gotta show you something. A lot of people are asking me, how do you charge this plug-in hybrid? Do I have to find a station or anything like this? Like I mentioned before, you can fast charge this vehicle, but this is a regular plug, right? For the US at least, this is 110. You just plug it in to your regular receptacle and you plug this portion right here to your vehicle. Now this cable is pretty long. I'm not sure exactly how long it is, but I'm sure if you park your vehicle in the garage, you can find the receptacle somewhere close to that. So that's how you charge it. What else do we have in the back here? You do have a 12-volt power outlet, and then you have a cargo cover right here to prevent people from peeking and of what you have inside of your vehicle. And then you can fold the seats. It is 60-40 split. Underneath here you have more storage, not a whole lot, but you do have a little bit more storage right underneath here. And if you pull it up a little bit more, you can see that there is a battery and that there's also the fix-a-flat in there as well. Well, the interior of it does have just enough room for a full-size adult, as I like to call myself. I'm 6 feet tall. I have this seat adjusted to my regular driving position. I don't touch my knees to the front of the seat. I do have plenty of headroom. I sit nice and comfortable. Like I always say, even though it does have 5 seat belts, 4 passengers would ride in comfortably. The 5th one, not so much. But this interior is very interesting. Let me show it to you. Starting with the door panel right here, you can see there's a different kind of insert. This is that open textile that Volvo is using, kind of gray color. You see a lot more inserts on the interior of this vehicle. Now this is leather wrapped, and then other than that, there's nothing too crazy about it. But I want to point out that all of this touch points are soft plastic, which adds to the luxury of this vehicle, in my opinion. Polished aluminum. As far as the door handle, you do have the lock and unlock button and the window controls. A little bit more storage in the door, and that will conclude the door portion of it. But I'm excited to show you of how the interior of it looks. Look, even the back seats are nicely profiled, and this is a combination of this slate Napa leather with this open textile fabric. Really, really eye-pleasing. It's really comfortable. I don't have enough good things to talk about it, so this is a great option for Volvo. Now you do have this armrest right here, cup holders pull from the front. Right there you have this middle console. You do have a little bit of connectivity. If they put 2 of the USB, which they did, oh wow, I have 2 USB ports right there. You do have the hump in the middle, so you can see maybe a child can sit and rest their feet on it. And then you have a little bit more of a storage space right here. You do have the seat back mats. Not sure if I like that, but if you were missing the vents here, that's because they are right here. So each passenger has its own. They can adjust it to the way they like it. I think that's probably a smarter way to do it than in the bottom. All right, let's listen to the quality of the vehicle by shutting its door. Boom, nice and solid thumb. All right, let's take a look at the door panel right here. Same thing as in the back. So you do have a Harman Kardon. This is the base one. Now you do have the ability to get the Bauer and Wilkins stereo. Memory seats 1 and 2, lock and unlock, and then you have the controls for your windows and mirrors right there. Now you do have the child safety lock, of course, and that's it. Leather wrapped, open grid design right here as far as this fabric. Very nice to the eye. Let's check out what the seat looks like. I gotta tell you, if you take a look at the seat, looks like come out of a sports car, and that's because it does have the sports performance in this Volvo. Really like the design of it. The bolsters are not too thick, you know. For me, they give in a little bit once I put myself inside of it. Then you can adjust a lot of things on those seats right here, so you can see fully electric adjustments on the seats. Now you also have this knee rest right here, which is really important for people with longer legs or even with shorter, so it doesn't stick up too much. And then, as any of the sports cars should, it does have the aluminum pedals with those rubber nubs on it, so your feet don't slip in here. Now you do have this aluminum trim. I kind of want to give you a close-up of it with this kind of geometric shapes right inside of it. A lot of attention to details. And on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your dimmer basically, and you can open your gate. You can also open your fuel door. Check it out, guys. The interior of this 2022 XC60 extended range. You know, somebody commented on my other XC60 that it's not luxurious, that they don't like the interior. Well, I agree that people have the right to have their own opinion. I don't agree with his opinion. So comment in the comment section below. What do you think about it? I think it is a premium interior. You look at this leather wrapped dashboard, the multi-tier dashboard. You do have this aluminum trim with this geometric shapes inside of it. Now it's wrapped in this solid trim right here. All of this touch points are actually soft plastic right there. You do have vents that's nicely incorporated in here. Harman Kardon steer. You do have the option to get the upgraded Bauer and Wilkins. Now, as far as the screen right here, I know that was my complaint, the last one. Yes, I think they could make a little bit different, although it does have this new software on, which we're going to explore in just a little bit. Let's move on to the steering wheel. I like the steering wheel. I like the feel of the steering wheel. It doesn't feel like a sports steering wheel, like a typical sports steering wheel with the flat bottom, maybe those grabs right there, but it's still nice and very comfortable to the touch. And I'm not a big fan of this piano black buttons on here. I think that's what one of the change was. They went with piano black instead of this matte black. You know, look at this. I mean, it already has a whole bunch of fingerprints on it, and it's really hard to be clean. It looks good though. So, I mean, we have a lot of controls in here. We have this side of the steering wheel basically controls what's going on in the instrument cluster. As well, you know, go through different pages and customization, so we're going to go through that next. And you have this side right here. It's basically for your cruise control, and then you can make some adjustments as far as the distance between you and the car in front of you. Also, before we go to the instrument cluster, I don't know if you can see it, but it does have the head-up display, so it shows right now 0 miles and the speed limit. It says 15 just because we're in the parking lot. All right, let's start with this instrument cluster right here. So on the left-hand side, you have a speedometer. Right-hand side, you have the gear indicator, as well as you have this charge indicator. So whether the battery is giving power or charging, etc. I did turn off the electric mode for now, just to have the battery charged up a little bit. So the battery is in the charge mode as we speak. And we do have 190 miles for the electric or for the gasoline range only. So this is the standard display. The only customization that I can think of that you can do from here, from the steering wheel, is you can turn on your map or your navigation in here. Other than that, all you can see is your trip manual, and then you can reset it if you'd like to, and click again to confirm, and that's it. So now we're done with here. And then we're going to move on to this 9-inch display. Now this is the new software. The previous one was still having the Volvo software, which I think I like better. I know they went with Google to help it make more uniform, more customized, and easier to use for people, especially with the Android devices. Well, the bad part about it, we're still waiting for the Apple CarPlay. So people with iPhones are not able to have the Apple CarPlay in here, unfortunately, not yet. I'm going to go back to the main menu. Like you can see right now, I have it in the battery usage is in charge right now, so I'm not using any of the battery, and the vehicle is running So let's go to the main screen in here. So this is how you'd start your day with. So basically you have your maps. If you click on it, if you have an Android phone, you're very familiar with it because that's gonna be basically it, just in a 9-inch display. So it's really easy to use. Now, even though if you're not familiar with Google, it's very user-friendly. So if you wanna find the gas stations, well, it's gonna show you two things. It's gonna show you the gas stations, but it's also gonna show you the prices on them. So let's say Wawa's got gas at $4.58 per gallon and Racetrack at $4.60. So you can make a decision based on the prices, even though they're not too big price differences, but you can choose to go to whichever one. The second option right here is, it says the Grateful Dead is playing right now. Third option is you have to connect your phone, and then there's a car status right here. So that's basically tire pressure monitoring system. See, everything is in green. Right at the bottom of here, you have your seat. This have the heated seats and not ventilated for some reason. Now we can also turn on your camera from here, and we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna complain about it because that's what I do. So I think the camera should take out the entire screen. Let me know what you think about it. The quality of it, I think, improved. It is a little bit better quality than what I remember. Maybe that's the software. But you also see this camera is underneath kind of a hood, basically, underneath where the license plate is. So that kind of restricts both the top and the bottom of this camera. Now we can probably take a look at the camera settings and see. I can also see the 360 camera, which this one is equipped with. And you can see the vehicle from the top. And you can actually take a look at the side cameras, one or two. But then again, you have this entire real estate. Like, this picture is perfect, right? When you want to look at the certain view of the camera, it goes to half the screen. Not sure why, but I think this could be improved upon. Heated seats. So you can select your climate control, and that opens up the climate control menu. So then you can play around with the different buttons in here. You also have some shortcuts at the bottom of it. We're going to take a look in just a minute. You can go back to the menu. So you have the maps, Bluetooth, radio, phone, Google Assistant, Play Store. So you can download the apps that you like onto this system. So that's not bad. Well, what else is important? Okay, settings. You can go to driving. This is where you change your different drive modes. So you have the hybrid, power, pure, off-road, and constant all-wheel drive. Here's the off-road mode. So that reduces steering effort and activates hill descent control for driving in rough terrain at low speed. And it does have quite a bit of ground clearance. I believe it's somewhere close to 8 inches, so it definitely can handle itself in the terrain as well. And then you can do a pure, this is the pure electric. The vehicle engine turned off right now, and the battery usage went to use versus charge right now. Power, this is basically your sport mode, and hybrid is your regular mode. I'll leave this battery in charge for a little bit just to see if we can actually test out the performance of this vehicle. Now, the nice thing about it too, I showed you the controls of the seats. Now, if I touch the control on the seat itself, it's going to open up this screen. And that tells you basically what I'm doing. Like, see, I'm adjusting the bottom portion, that knee rest right here. Now, if I want to do something else, so this is your lumbar control, and I can adjust it up and down, back and forth. So this is your seat controls. They show up on the screen as soon as you touch it, so at least you have an idea of what you're doing. That's your screen, infotainment system. Let's move down here. Seen that before. So you have your play, pause, you know, basically your volume button, media, different tracks, go forward and back. You have your hazard lights, the front defogger, rear defroster, the whole 9 yards. Then your shifter, regular gear shifter. We don't have this crystal one. I think you have to have the inscription package to get it. Not the inscription, not the lower end inscription package, but the full-blown one. And then you have the wireless charging right here. You have the cigarette lighter charger over here. Engine start stop button, you twist and start it. Electronic parking brake. Okay, we do have more cup holders in here. I like that trim. I like how it all closes up. See, it doesn't have the wood trim like in the inscription, but this makes it more modern and more sporty in my opinion. And very shallow storage compartment right there, but you do have the USB-C, two of those USB-C ports for extra charging. All right, we're gonna move up here. Regular mirror with the home link, and then you have your LED lights. You also have the panoramic sunroof, which is a nice feature, and then you have the call for help. Can't speak today. On call. You can open up the moonroof if you'd like to. So that adds a lot more light inside of this vehicle and close it. And as far as the visors, you do have both of them are illuminated, so both driver and passenger can check out how they look before going out. Right, this is the interior of it, guys. I'm excited because now it's the part that I like the most, and that's to test out this vehicle on the road. Guys, you know what's coming up next? We're going to take it for a spin. Before that, let's check it out, what's available as far as the different trim levels. I'm going to quote the base prices. To each of them, you can option out the way you like. So the first one is Inscription Expression, which is the base model, and that's what I had the last time when I did the non-extended range version. And it starts at $55,345. The Inscription, full-blown on Inscription, the modern one with the driftwood decor, etc., with this crystal shifter. That one is at $62,845 starting price, and the R Design, which is the one I'm sitting in right now, is at $61,495. This one's about $66,000. I'm gonna post everything in the link in the description to this video as far as what it has. Switch this to the power mode. I'm going to turn on the battery usage so we can test it out in the optimum scenario, like using both battery and the combustion engine. And really quick, I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to do a quick 360 on this vehicle to see how the turning radius is. And you know, there's no complaints about it. It's very nice, it's very tight, and it definitely is in range or better than some of its competitor in the class. It also feels very nice as far as you're driving it. It's nice and quiet. I know I have this fan blowing right now, which I'm gonna actually reduce a little bit. Hopefully it's not gonna be as obtrusive as it is right now, but it has been so hot recently. It's about 90 degrees outside. 107 it shows here, oh my goodness. And we're still in May, so wow, that is hot. We're gonna take it on the road. I gotta tell you, my only concern is that having those big wheels, it's gonna kind of sacrifice a little bit of that ride quality. Now I did put it in the sport mode, so basically that's gonna give us the most dynamic mode that Volvo has. Check out some of the acceleration. I'm gonna try to do a full like 0 to maybe 40 or 50 to see how it accelerates from the stop. But overall, merging in traffic, there's really no issues. 1, 2, 3, and it goes. All right, nice visibility outward. Right, it does have this one pedal driving, which I should mention. Like I have this accelerator on, but as soon as I let it go, it slows down, it brakes, kind of like this regenerative braking that we've seen a lot of those electric and hybrid vehicles. So it does that, very nice. And if I let it go all the way, the vehicle will eventually stop. We can change the gears as well manually too, so it does have this Geartronic transmission. Overall, sitting in this vehicle feels very nice, very comfortable, very luxurious. That's a huge plus. Infotainment system could be somewhat confusing, so I guess it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, especially if you're going from another brand, or maybe if you're going from the previous generation Volvo as well. That's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, in my opinion, and I could do a little bit better job as far as the camera and as far as the way that the camera actually projects on the screen, meaning that we only have a very limited portion of screen available to the camera. Now, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to stop right here, right there, and go. Wow. We just passed 60 miles per hour, guys, so it is incredible to have that amount of power in a small sport utility, and you can barely hear it. It's not an electric, it's not a full-on electric vehicle, mind it. I think it's a perfect combination, 455 horsepower, and now we have 4.5 seconds, 0 to 60. This is incredible. This engine is more powerful, it's cleaner, so it's better for the environment, and it's faster, right? So I mean, you have the best of both worlds. So definitely, if you're looking at the compact or a smaller mid-size SUV, which I think this is the real name of its class, there's so many of them, definitely don't skip this. Consider looking at the Volvo XC60. If you're somewhere in the Southwest Florida, check out the guys at Volvo Cars of Fort Myers. I'm sure they're going to be able to help you out with that. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I really got to get this vehicle back to the dealership, but thank you again. Consider subscribing. Why not? If you haven't done that yet, do me a favor, go to the right hand side of the screen, scroll all the way down, there's a little red subscribe button, hit that button, click the like button, give me thumbs up, and turn on that little bell notification. I post twice a week, and I hope you liked it. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.